I'm being joined on the broadcast with Major Mohammed Ali Shah, a defense expert. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us on NewsX. We're, of course, talking about Indian Air Force's newly inducted Heron Mark II drones, and we've just heard some IAF personnel say that this is boosting the Indian defense capability, as this is state-of-the-art technology, and these are considered to be the most advanced drones with the Indian Air Force currently. What do you make of this development? Do you think it is vital in monitoring the nefarious activities by Pakistan and China on the other side of the border?
Yes, that's a very good question, Ria. And of course, it is a very but now we have the Heron Mark II drones, and the very fact is, with these drones, we can monitor, we can, I would say, I use the word fight as a soldier with Pakistan and with China, fight in terms of getting the sensitive information, getting the data that's required, getting whatever we may, the inputs that we may require from both the sides. And they are long endurance drones, so they can fly in the capability of any weather, any condition, anyhow. It's of high technology, high precision. So most certainly, as you said, we heard the Indian Air Force personnel speak some time back. So it only strengthens our military prowess in every way, in every way possible, Rhea.
Indeed, this is undoubtedly a capability boost, and as we're discussing, it is very vital in order, Pakistan and China, especially China, we're also slated to hold, high-level military talks with them, and we'll be covering that shortly in the bulletin later. But this comes amidst the move for confidence-building measures. So how do you view that in this context?
So see, when you have an equipment which will hold you in good stead, which has good endurance, it can function in any weather, any conditions, any climate, and you have something which will stand by you, in fact. So you automatically feel confident. I'll give a small example over here, for everyone to understand. If you're going on a long drive in a car which is newly serviced and is functioning very well, or a brand new car, you will feel more confident in that. Where if you go in an old rickety car which might break down on the highway anywhere, you would feel, oh, it's not conducive to go in this car. I mean, it can break down anytime. So you'll have that, you will not be confident enough. Now with an equipment like this, most certainly our morale goes up, our prowess goes up, our confidence goes up. So I view it this way, that, we feel it's a very good strength we have added to our own selves, for that matter.
Indeed, Major Shah. With that, I'd request you to stay on with us as we're shifting our focus to India and China relations. And I had briefly mentioned earlier that confidence-building measures are in focus. So in fact, ensuring adherence to border protocols, sharing of patrol information to avoid clashes between troops, and ensuring adequate communication is definitely in focus in the upcoming talks that are to be held tomorrow. How far do you think China's political leadership has to be keen in order to ensure that such confidence-building measures result in some tangible sort of results near the borders when it comes to easing tensions and easing the standoff?
Right, I'll be very honest with you, as a soldier who has served on ground in the Northeast and who has seen the China border with his own eyes from close. Now let me tell you, the entire Chinese are not to be trusted ever. I mean, that will be the biggest mistake which anyone can do. In fact, in 1962 also, they would come in hordes of brigades of theirs used to come in thousands and surround one company of ours of only 100 to 120 men. And they would say, Indi Chini, bye-bye. Imagine, and they would outnumber us, but yet they would stab us in the back. So Chinese are not, it's a history with them. Now the very fact is, if we are actually expecting, I'm an optimist. I have always believed in thinking positive, and I feel that dialogue is the only way forward. But here I'm not being pessimistic, I'll be realistic. And I'll say that if we actually expect something to come out and we say that Chinese will actually come halfway at least, we would be mistaken. They have a policy of moving a step behind, undoubtedly. They will do that. But when no one is looking, they will take 2 steps ahead. So it comes down to taking a step ahead ultimately. So Chinese, we are expecting that out of the long marathon talks, we expend our energy, our time, our patience. We hear all that, we endure all that. So is something going to come out? I fear that nothing much is going to come out even then. And yes, when we talk about confidence building, it's a fact, yes. There have been times when 2 patrols have clashed on the border, the Indian patrol and the Chinese patrol, and both of them say that this is our area as per my map, no as per my map, and there have been arguments, there have been fistfights, there have been all in Galwan in 2020 when Colonel Babu was martyred. We saw, I mean, it was how our bravehearts put up a tough fight with them. We saw on 9 December last year, 2022, those in Tawang, what happened. Tawang, I started my schooling from there, from class nursery, from Tanga Valley, Khirmu, in that region. So the very fact that we saw the mistrust, we saw the deficit over there, and we also saw how our brave hearts, how the Indian Army soldiers smashed the daylights out of the Chinese Rangers and threw them out of the country, threw them out from where they had come in illegally. They turned their backs and they ran. Such a thing is, you can't expect that from an Indian soldier. Indian soldier is not trained for showing his back and running. Indian soldier will die, will fight there till his last breath, but can never think of retreating. They can be, at the best, they can be a tactical withdrawal strategically, which has been planned in advance, but we will never retreat, we will never show our backs. Now, the very fact is, China, we have seen that happen on ground. We have seen, I have personal friends who have encountered Chinese patrols on ground. They have indulged in fights, they have blocked their ways. But now that if we think something will come out of the Chinese talks, actually, why hasn't it's gone for so many talks? I don't know how many talks. I've lost count now. I finally have stopped counting. After 16, I have stopped counting, in fact, how many talks we've had and for how many hours, marathon level talks. Our side, their side, on the Chushul side. I mean, we do not know what the Chinese, and we know very well the Chinese believe in the Sun Tzu's philosophy, which is what a Chinese thinker, strategist, or philosopher who wrote The Art of War, how to win wars without fighting, without firing a single bullet, how a war could be won. So Chinese will always play their propaganda, their psychological warfare. They have been doing web warfare. They just yesterday I got to know that they had hacked the Japanese servers, their military base, the military establishment servers. They tried to get secrets from there. But very soon there's going to be a quad exercise over there in Australia very soon, where Japan, Australia, India, and America, they are going to be participating, and China has a lot to fear.
Indeed.
And now when we go in for these talks, let's hope still, after having stated something realistically, let's hope something actually comes out from there.
Indeed, Major Shah.